What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. I'm Michigan Sports Talk here. In this one, we got some post-game takeaways on Michigan's 35-7 win over UNLV. I'm also going to be going over injury updates, what Jay Harbaugh and Mike Hart said after the game after getting their first wins as a Michigan head coach, and I just give you my thoughts on the game. It's all going to be in this video, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Alright, so it is Victory Sunday for Michigan. Michigan yesterday beat UNLV 35-7. They improved to 2-0 on the season. It was another great performance by Michigan, even without Jim Harbaugh as their head coach. And Jay Harbaugh was the first half head coach for Michigan, and Mike Hart was the second half head coach. But I want to go over my key takeaways of the game, and I would just start first with the defense. The defense, they didn't force any turnovers. However, they got a ton of pressure on the quarterback. They had a total of 10 tackle for losses today, and they had 5 sacks in the game, and 5 of those sacks, they all came in the first half. That was the one thing the defense didn't do against East Carolina, is get a sack, and against UNLV they had 5 of them. The defensive line just looked scary for Michigan out there, especially the starters, and UNLV didn't even have the ball inside their own territory until the third quarter, and the only reason they scored 7 points is because of Michigan putting in their backups and everything. But you look at the defensive statistics for Michigan, and Chris Jenkins had 5 total tackles with 3 solo tackles. He also had half a sack. Mason Graham had half a sack with 5 total tackles. Mike Samerstill, Braden McGregor had a great game. He had 1.5 tackle for losses, and Jalen Harrell also had 5 total tackles. Kenneth Grant had a phenomenal game, especially in the first half. He had 1.5 sacks and 2.5 tackles for losses. Jalen Harrell had 1.5 sacks and actually had both of his sacks come in the same series, and Derek Moore got pressure on the quarterback. He had 1 sack. It was just a phenomenal performance for the defensive line for Michigan, and obviously, you know, the linebackers, Michael Barrett, Junior Colson, Ernest Hausman, they all played a great game. And I'll talk about Rod Moore, Makari Page, and Will Johnson later in the video, as I'll talk about injury status for some Michigan players as they didn't play. But as far as the offense for Michigan, they had 492 total yards in this game, 313 passing yards, 179 rushing yards, and they only threw 1 interception, and that was Davis Warren as he threw an interception. UNLV only had 229 total yards, and after rushing all over the place against their first opponent against Bryant, they only had 61 rushing yards. I'm telling you guys, Michigan's defensive line, they are phenomenal when it comes to attacking and defending the run. JJ McCarthy had another outstanding performance, putting up record numbers. He went 22 for 25 with 278 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He has yet to throw an interception or even really make a mistake. And his 2 touchdown passes were to Roman Wilson. He had another outstanding game, 4 receptions, 89 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He now has 5 total touchdowns on the season. He is definitely Michigan's best wide receiver right now, but Cornelius Johnson has been playing well a lot recently. He just hasn't been able to get in the end zone. He had another good game with 5 receptions and 82 yards. And then we finally got to see Tyler Morris out there, as he should be healthy and back now. He had 3 receptions for 40 yards. Colson Loveland, AJ Barner, they both had a couple of catches, not a whole lot going on with them. Donovan Edwards had 5 receptions for 26 yards, and Samaj Morgan, the freshman, with 1 reception and 35 yards. As far as rushing, Blake Corum led the way with 15 carries, 80 yards, and 3 touchdowns, and Donovan Edwards did not really have a good game rushing-wise, 6 carries for 9 yards. And then Cornelius Johnson almost scored on that end around. JJ McCarthy also ran the ball 3 carries for 38 yards. It was nice to see him get that 1 quarterback draw. That was a good play, and then also that read option he had. And obviously Jack Tuttle had that good run, just a little late hit there on him. Hopefully he's okay. He should be all good. So yeah, I was really pleased with Michigan's offense and defense, as the offense, split up the rushing and the passing attack and kind of just made it even again. They did the same thing against East Carolina, and I think that's just their game plan moving forward. It was also pretty cool to see JJ McCarthy. He had the number 47 on of a UNLV player who recently passed away. He was actually JJ McCarthy's teammate at Nazareth Academy, and when they were talking about him wearing that 47, he threw a 47-yard touchdown to Roman Wilson, so that was very special. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys thought of the game, and also, your guys' takeaways of the defense. I thought they were stellar again. This defense is definitely scary, and also the Michigan offense. The offensive line did a little bit better. The rushing attack can be better, but they did have 179 rushing yards today, and JJ McCarthy just continues to impress. Did want to talk about some injuries though. As far as Rod Moore and Makari Page, they both missed the game. Makari Page did play a little bit in the first game. Jay Harbaugh after the game said that, yeah, Rod and Makari, they're coming along. They've been practicing, and I think we should have a good shot at them being available for this next game. So it doesn't sound like it's too serious, like we've been saying, but Jay Harbaugh also said that Will Johnson, he's fine. He was limited in snaps against UNLV as well. And as far as Jack Tuttle taking the hit, he didn't come back in, which kind of sucks. But Mike Hart said after the game that he's good. He got hit out of bounds late, but he came right out of the tent. He was throwing and he wanted to go back in, but they just weren't putting him back in. So those are the injury updates for Michigan. And I also wanted to talk about Mike Hart becoming the first African American head coach in Michigan history, making history there. First of all, being the head coach for the second half. He said it was awesome. It was awesome to have the opportunity. He said that we did miss Coach Harbaugh without a doubt. And then I'm becoming the first African American head coach in Michigan history. He said it's a great honor. He said I've just had a lot of great coaches who are African American that I've had a chance to look up to and let me know that it can happen, that it's a possibility. And he said hopefully we see more African American coaches in college football. We need more. Hopefully I'll be one of those one day, and I'm sure Mike Hart will definitely be one of those coaches. So it's nice to see Jay Harbaugh, Mike Hart both get a win as a head coach for Michigan, and also having Sharon Moore back as the offensive coordinator. Seemed like he did a good job with the offense, splitting it up with the rushing and the passing attack. And Michigan next game against Bowling Green at night next Saturday. I think the main thing now is just Blake Corum, Donovan Edwards. We want to see them bust out some runs, and hopefully we get to see that against Bowling Green. Obviously Edwards, Corum, both coming off of injuries, but they should both be 100% healthy. We just gotta, I think, let them settle in. And these defenses, they definitely are blitzing, stacking the boxes, but maybe against Bowling Green we'll see a couple of runs busted out from Blake Corum and Donovan Edwards. Would be nice to see. But other than that, I thought Michigan played a phenomenal game, both offensively and defensively. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys thought. But Michigan beats UNLV to improve to 2-0 on the season. They beat them 35-7. Hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure you guys go ahead, drop a like, comment down below, and subscribe for more if you are new around here. I greatly appreciate it. But other than that, we will see you guys in the next video. Peace.